Gunnar Henderson, first of all, let me tell you folks this. And I know we're going to get him a locked-up deal. Gunnar Henderson has 3 years left. He's player arbitration.
Right?
Yeah, 2029. He's not a free agent until 2029. And I know you guys are anxious to get it done, but I don't think Gunnar is. And not because he doesn't want to be here, but why would he be anxious to get it done when he's going to print money in arbitration? Mm-hmm. You know, he's going to make upwards of $15, maybe $20 million in arbitration before it's all said and done. Okay, so why is he in a hurry? He is not Samuel Basallo. However, I remember last year when we interviewed Gunnar, I believe it was last year, and someone asked him about an extension. What would it take for an extension? And he didn't mention money.
That's right.
He didn't mention money. He didn't even bring money up because Gunnar Henderson is smart enough to know he's going to get paid. I don't have to talk about money. I'm Gunnar freaking Henderson. I don't have to bring money up. You're not going to get me if you don't come right financially. So we don't have to talk that.
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson talked about being competitive, knowing that the organization was committed to winning. Mm-hmm. That was most important to him. I think what the Orioles are doing right now, Ed, are showing Gunnar, whether they sign Framber Valdez or not. Signing Framber Valdez would be great, but Gunnar's watching. He knows you're committed to. You lost that guy, but you show me you're committed to win. I think you got to continue to do this. That's how you keep the Gunnar Hendersons of the world.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, why rush? That money's already there. Whoever's holding it right now, because he's going to. I can't imagine what he's going to make because, you know, every time there's a contract, you know, they look at the last one and the years go by and the numbers go up. What the hell is he going to get?
Yeah. By the way, something I wanted to point out we were talking about because people are so hell-bent on they have to go get a starting pitcher. And I almost agree with Rob. Is like if you miss out on Framber and you get Zach Gallen, I'm listening to you. But if you miss out on both of those guys, why wouldn't you just try to make something work? You've got 5 starters. Get to the trade deadline and see what's there because next year, Corbin Burns, Tarek Skubal, Michael King, because he's opt-outs if he wants to. Mm-hmm. Sonny Gray, the same thing, mutual opt-out. Robbie Ray, Shota Imanaga, Brandon Woodruff, Kevin Gausman. By the way, Kevin Gausman, the contract he signed with the Blue Jays, turned out to be one of the best contracts the Blue Jays could have signed because he's been one of the more consistent pitchers the last 4 years in all of baseball. Jose Barrios, Jack Flaherty, Rob's favorite. He'll be back.
Screw you.
And then there's a handful of other. The pitching market, even a guy like Brady Singer, the pitching market is so much better next offseason, or has the potential to be so much better, that you don't make the knee-jerk reaction if you don't get Framber and go just overpay somebody.
What's up with Framber? What is the holdup with him?
He just thinks he's worth more than what they're offering. And now there's like 7 or 8 teams that are supposedly in on him. And he's hoping one of them comes forward and goes, hey, we were just thinking we'd like to give you even more cash. Yeah. And I don't know that that's going to happen for him.
It's not.
They're basically saying the ball's in his court and he's got to make the decision.
No one's going to out-negotiate themselves.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to go back to Gunnar for a second because people always say the Orioles were not willing to pay Manny Machado. That's not correct. Manny Machado wanted to win. You know what the roster was in 2018, his last year here? Wellington Castillo. Now, you had Chris Davis, Jonathan Scove, yada, yada, yada. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. 34-year-old J.J. Hardy. I love J.J. Hardy, but he was 34 years old. He played 73 games that year. You had Seth Smith in right field. You had Joey Rickard playing outfield. You had Tim Beckham, who was a failed number 1 overall draft pick. You had Hyun-Soo Kim. You had Ruben Tejada, Craig Gentry, Pedro Alvarez. That was the roster.
Yeah.
Why am I signing here?
Yeah, he wanted out. I mean, you know that.
Why, but if you want me, woo me. Put something around me. So basically, what are you telling me? You're trimming down the roster in order to pay me? I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want support. Why, if I am 24-year-old Manny Machado, why the hell do I want to re-sign with that? I don't want that.
Nope. I mean, I get it.
I mean, he did them a favor by basically letting them know that he didn't want to come back.
Man,
because at least they got something for him.
And Manny's thinking the same. I mean, I'm sorry. We're thinking the same thing now. You got to show me that you are. What's up?
I just want to say, because if you go back to that point, it doesn't even matter if they wanted to sign Manny Machado. It's a different ownership, and these guys are doing different things.
Exactly. They're doing the things that keep the young players. They're putting good players around. Think about this. The Orioles didn't go out and get an aging veteran and say, hey, let's go out and get this guy and show him that he knows how to win because he won last decade. No, they went out and got a 31-year-old veteran, relatively young guy, and says, you won before, you've been successful, we want you to lead this clubhouse. They didn't go get a 35, 36-year-old veteran who's on his last leg and say, be a leader. They went out and got a guy who just last year hit 38 home runs and drove in 126.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've been in the postseason before.
At the World Series.
You know what it is to lead my clubhouse. That the old Orioles would have gotten a 35, 36-year-old who was already been paid and just wants to hang around the league. Yeah. Say, hey, see, we got you somebody. So Gunnar and those guys, that's what they want, man. That's what they want. 410-583-1057 is the number. Do you think the Orioles right now, Ed, are doing enough to keep the interest of the young players like Gunnar Henderson?
Yes. I think for sure they are. They've done a lot, and they've done stuff to directly benefit the young players and that who bat in that lineup. So yeah,
and I know people don't want to hear this because it's more about the players on the field. But all Elias has done, and then now with new ownership is done, has got us in the international market, created that thing in the Dominican, which we won't see the facilities down there. You won't see the fruits of that labor probably for another 4 or 5 years. But when those guys are here, everybody's going to go, where did we get that guy from? Yeah, it was because that started. And the same thing with ownership. They went out. This isn't the Pirates and Reds fans were going, hey, we were in on Kyle Schwarber, Cincinnati kid. He didn't sign here, but we're in on it. The Pirates were hanging their hats on that their name was even mentioned with Kyle Schwarber. We made an offer. Sure, it was $10.50 an hour, but we made an offer. And like now you're hearing the Orioles not just being in on these things.
Pay him hourly?
Yes. Not the Orioles just being in on things, but being the team that offered the largest contract, even if they don't pick to come here. Mm-hmm. So I just think things are vastly different, and people are just living in the past going, well, this is how it is. We're mired in mediocrity. Like, come on, man.
They do. You owe Trippy $500. You owe Trippy $500, Rashawn.
Man, I can pay him back, man, because, thanks to Jeremy, man, your picks last night.
They were good last night. Thank God I can pay my BGE bill now. $900 a month.
I can pay mine too, But so yesterday y'all was talking about the utility, guy and all that stuff. Y'all was saying Jermaine. I'm about to call him Jermaine. Jeremiah Jackson is not an A+ defender in the infield. So it's a free agent out there, man. That I wouldn't mind bringing back to the O's. And you know where I'm going with this, man. Ramón Urías. How would you feel us, bringing him back? He's a utility guy. He can play every position in the infield. I love the guy, man. He can hit better. He's better hitter than Mateo was. Better defender than Mateo was.
See, this is what this is. Rashawn, I'm gonna need you guys to stop thinking that way. When you tell me you want someone better than Mateo, you're going to the lowest common denominator. No, I don't. Listen to me. I love Ramón Urías. But not on my team right now. It's time to move beyond that. I don't want to see anybody that was here last year that doesn't get you moving forward. And Ramón Urías doesn't do that for me. I don't want to see him. I love him. I love the guy, but I'm good without him.
I got news for you. People are trying to find ways, like they're looking at, we got to get this guy, got to get that guy. When you look at the roster, they're finding ways to get people at bats, and then you're trying to force somebody else onto the roster that now they got to, again, if they're going to get their utility infielder, if they feel like they have something in-house, that guy's going to play sparingly at these positions. I don't think it kills you.
Why does everybody still want to move backwards, man? Let's go back and get this guy. No, let's not. Let's not go back and get that guy. Let's move forward. We're good. We're good over here, Rashawn.
That's like when Mike called in yesterday saying, man, we don't have a backup utility infielder. I'm like, hey, okay.
That's right.
We need a power hitting right-handed hitter. I thought we had that. And Ryan Mountcastle.
No, you got that in Pete Alonso. You got that in Taylor Ward.
That was the worst Mike take ever.